Please note down third endodermal pouch. Once again it will divide into dorsal wing and ventral wing. So please remember, except first endodermal pouch, second, third and fourth will divide into dorsal wing and ventral wing. In the third endodermal pouch, dorsal wing, I will use yellow color from here, continuation only. This will develop into the dorsal wing. Please make this swelling and color it. You make this swelling and just color it. This will develop into this structure, which will be known as from the dorsal wing of third endodermal pouch. Dorsal wing of third endodermal pouch, and it will be known as parathyroid 3. So therefore this is parathyroid 3. This is parathyroid 3, which later on will develop into inferior parathyroid gland. That I am going to explain it to you. So parathyroid 3 from dorsal wing of third endodermal pouch. What about ventral wing? Ventral wing will continue and it will project down laterally and it will develop into thymus. So this is where you show the developing portion of the thymus, and we will color it. So therefore the ventral wing will develop into thymus. Now let me note down here, this is ventral wing of third endodermal pouch, which is developing into thymus. T, thymus. So therefore, dorsal wing of third endodermal pouch, parathyroid 3, the ventral wing into thymus. Later on this thymus will progress down. Here it can be asked as MCQs, various MCQs, that thymus will develop from, or the parathyroid 3 or inferior parathyroid gland will develop from pouch number 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the pattern of MCQs you can start forming in your mind. Now here, kindly note, this thymus on both the sides will progress down. It will grow down caudally. Why it will grow down caudally? Because of the descent of the heart. As the heart is developing, slowly the pericardial cavity, the heart will progress down along with pericardial cavity. Because of caudal migration of the heart, there will be thymus which will be pulled down. As the thymus grows down caudally, it will drag. What it will drag along? It will pull, it will drag along parathyroid 3. So therefore these parathyroid 3 will be pulled along with the thymus below. And because of that, the parathyroid 3 glands will then settle behind the thyroid gland. And they will settle at the lower pole behind the thyroid glands. And they are converted into inferior parathyroid gland. 1 mark question answer. Inferior parathyroid gland will develop from first endodermal pouch, second endodermal pouch, third endodermal pouch or fourth endodermal pouch. It will develop from third endodermal pouch. But it will develop from third. Then why does it settle in the inferior? Because it gets dragged down, pulled down along with the thymus. And finally, after getting pulled down, it will disconnect from the thymus and it will be settled at the lower pole of thyroid gland as inferior parathyroid gland. Now here, note down both the structures, parathyroid 3 from the dorsal wing and the thymus from the ventral wing. Both of them initially will be communicating. Initially they will communicate, for example, if I show with an arrow, they will communicate with the primitive pharynx, and this communication is known as superior pharyngobranchial duct. Sometimes it is asked in 1 mark question answer. What is superior pharyngobranchial duct? Answer in 1 sentence. Communication of the dorsal and ventral wing of the third endodermal pouch with primitive pharynx is called superior pharyngobranchial duct. Later on, this superior pharyngobranchial duct will disappear. And this will lead to development of thymus and inferior parathyroid gland. Now in thymus, 2 types of development is there. Thymus, the main development is endoderm. This is the endodermal pouch. Third endodermal pouch will develop into thymus. But there will be development of lymphocytes. The lymphocytes which are present in thymus are called thymocytes. These lymphocytes will develop from mesoderm. And the remaining cells of thymus, that is Hessel's corpuscles, these thymic corpuscles or Hessel's corpuscles will develop from endoderm. So here we finish our third endodermal pouch. Now the last one, fourth endodermal pouch. For the fourth endodermal pouch, I will use this orange color, and kindly note that we continue from here. The fourth endodermal pouch, first we show here this portion, and this swelling will be known as parathyroid 4. So kindly draw this as parathyroid 4. This will be the parathyroid 4. Please mark it, and here I will mark it as, let me mark here, this will be parathyroid 4. Dorsal wing of the fourth endodermal pouch will develop into parathyroid 4. Dorsal wing of the fourth endodermal pouch will develop into parathyroid gland. Which parathyroid gland? Fourth parathyroid gland, and this will develop into superior parathyroid gland. Please note down. So, ventral wing. What will happen to ventral wing? Very interesting. This ventral wing of fourth endodermal pouch will continue, see here, it will continue down, this ventral wing will continue down, this will continue down and join with, it will join with the fifth endodermal pouch. So ventral wing joining with the fifth endodermal pouch, and later on it will develop into, you put these two swellings here, it will develop into the caudal pharyngeal complex. So therefore, this caudal pharyngeal complex is asked so many times in MCQs and Vivas. Also in 1 mark question answer. What is caudal pharyngeal complex? It is embryological development of ventral wing of the fourth endodermal pouch along with the rudimentary fifth endodermal pouch, and it will lead to development of caudal pharyngeal complex. So let me name this as, please name it as caudal pharyngeal complex. Caudal pharyngeal complex. So after making this caudal pharyngeal complex, we come over this side. Please come on this side. This is caudal pharyngeal complex. This is just a flow chart where you have to note down. Structures that will develop from caudal pharyngeal complex will be 3. What are those 3 structures? Number 1. It will help in contributing to some portion of thymus. Structures from caudal pharyngeal complex will help and contribute towards the development of thymus. Then, second, the most important structure, lateral portion of thyroid gland. Lateral portion of thyroid gland. So therefore, if you see this diagram, these two caudal pharyngeal complexes on right and left side will later on develop into lateral portion of thyroid gland, where the main element coming will be from the floor, median thyroid rudiment. It is called median thyroglossal duct. In the next segment, tomorrow, I am going to discuss development of thyroid gland. But here, as of caudal pharyngeal complex, it will help in development of lateral portion of thyroid element or lateral portion of thyroid gland. Third element, now here this is often asked in MCQs, ultimobranchial, either it is body or pouch, ultimobranchial body or ultimobranchial pouch, both are same, note down. So this is ultimobranchial body or ultimobranchial pouch. What will it develop into? It is present in all the vertebrates. In human beings, it will help in development of parafollicular cells of thyroid gland, or parafollicular cells are called C cells of thyroid gland. And therefore, these parafollicular C cells of thyroid gland are remnants or they are developed from ultimobranchial pouch. Recently, there is a controversy that these parafollicular C cells of thyroid gland will also develop from neural crest. So there is a bit of controversy between these two. As of, if it is asked in MCQs or Viva, you can straight away mention that ultimobranchial body will lead to development of parafollicular cells or C cells of thyroid gland. So caudal pharyngeal complex, very important. What is caudal pharyngeal complex? It is a combination of development of the ventral element of fourth endodermal pouch and rudimentary fifth endodermal pouch. Both will join and they will form caudal pharyngeal complex. What will it lead to development of? It will lead to development of thymus, contribute in developing thymus, some elements of thymus. Of course, we know thymus will develop from third endodermal pouch. But here it will lead to the contribute to development of thymus, second lateral portion of thyroid gland, and third ultimobranchial pouch or ultimobranchial body, which will lead to development of the parafollicular C cells. So here we have finished all the endodermal pouches. Now please note down, these can also be asked as, often it is asked as a short note, write a short note on development of endodermal pouches, this much you have to describe. Sometimes it is asked, let me give you an example, that way you can form your MCQs in your mind. The parathyroid 4 will develop from endodermal pouch number 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Then inferior parathyroid gland will develop from first endodermal pouch, second endodermal pouch, third endodermal pouch, or fourth. Remember, inferior parathyroid gland will develop from third endodermal pouch. Superior parathyroid gland will develop from first endodermal pouch, second endodermal pouch, third endodermal pouch, or fourth endodermal pouch. Note down, superior parathyroid gland will develop from fourth endodermal pouch because it will stay at its own place. Only this parathyroid gland, which is parathyroid 3, developing from the dorsal wing of the third endodermal pouch, will drag down. It will get pulled down because of the downward growth of the thymus. In this way, all these structures can be asked in various MCQs. It can be asked in 1 mark question answer. Here we finish our endodermal pouches. Thank you very much.